Hi folks, Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with SouthernIndianaWeather.com. Thanks for logging on to our morning forecast update. It is Thursday, August the 28th, 2014. We're sponsored today by Metal Magic in Washington. You can give Chad a call at 698-8555 for all of your paintless dent repair needs. Folks, they're PDR Nation certified. They do a fantastic job. So give them a call and tell them that Southern Indiana Weather sent you. We have a cold front that has pushed through the area during the overnight hours, and that will continue to push through the area today. And in fact, as that starts to push off to the east, notice though we have an advancing cold front that'll actually sort of force this to return as a warm front. So by the time Friday afternoon comes, that'll be through our area, and it looks like Friday is going to be a little bit warmer than we had originally forecast. Looks like we're going to see the 90s over portions of the area at least the next couple of days before we start to get that gradual cooling trend again. But rain chances will be fairly isolated. As we take a look at what the high resolution NAM says as far as rain chances, you can see really as you go throughout the daytime here on Thursday, just not that much activity, maybe an isolated pop-up storm or two at best, and then really as you go into even on Friday, you don't get a whole lot of activity, potentially just a little bit more, and we'll have to see whether that trend continues or not. But I'm not really expecting a big amount of rain over the next couple of days. We do have that frontal boundary stalled through our area, and eventually we'll push through our area back as a warm front. So we will have the chance, but I'm only going with a 20% chance at this point. It just doesn't look like a very strong chance. Now, we do see some potentially heavy precipitation down the road. In fact, if we take a look at what the Canadian model says, and there's a lot that I could show you, but we'll just go ahead and use the Canadian model for example here and get an idea of what we can expect. Here is those isolated pop-up type of storms for Friday and Saturday, but for Thursday and Friday rather. But as we move into the Saturday time frame, you can see the rain out to our west as it moves in, and it looks like we got a pretty decent shot at some rain according to the Canadian model over the weekend, so that by the time overnight into Saturday comes, it looks like rain could be fairly heavy at times. And look at this, by the time Sunday morning comes, we've got a decent soaker going on around the area. And then, of course, Labor Day. Everybody wants to know what are we going to do. I'll say this, if you've got outdoor plans on both Sunday or Monday, prepare for a wet day and think about what you could do inside, because it just doesn't look pretty at this point, folks. Here's Monday morning, and you can see a good soaking rain around the area again. And those rain chances really just linger throughout all the day on Monday. So it doesn't look like it at this point like either Sunday or Monday will just be an all-day complete washout. Rather, it just looks like an off and on rain. But if it does rain, it may rain for 2 or 3 hours and then just be wet and not much of anything else for a while. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But it certainly does look like it's going to be wet at this point. And then beyond that, it just looks like we've got some good old rain in the forecast really all the way through the beginning of next week. How much rain could we be talking about? Again, it depends on the model, but the Canadian model is really suggesting a pretty good little amount of rain here. In fact, you can see a fairly heavy swath of even upwards of 5 inches over the next few days at some points in time here. And really, I think out of this model, a good 1 to 3 inches area wide is most certainly probable with this. So again, a good soaker potentially over the weekend. Now, temperature wise, that's what everybody's wanting to know too, because it has just been extremely hot, and it's not really been that bad. We've been into the low 90s, but we haven't hit the low 90s much this year. I think we've just been sort of spoiled, but and that's the way I view it anyway. But as we take a look at this, you can see that the temperature trend will go back down, because even though I think this is a little bit too warm, this is the GFS ensemble models. I think these couple of temperatures here are just a little bit too warm in my opinion, but you can see the slow downwards trend here in such a way that by the time you get out to here, look at this, we're looking at low 80s and even upper 70s possible for our temperatures, and that certainly will be a welcome sign. So we've got a few hot days to get through yet, folks, but the slow cool down is coming, so hang in there with me. Really quickly, I also want to mention that we are looking for the possibility here of some severe weather next week. This is not set in stone yet by any means. It's still pretty far out, but on Tuesday the jet stream will be enough into our area a little bit, just a tiny little bit of a dip down in here, that it looks like we'll have a decent enough wind speed if we can get some instability to go along with this. And I do think that we'll have some storms firing up in the area. We've got a 40% chance built into the forecast on that day. There is a chance that we could see a little bit of severe weather with this. It's not set in stone. It's something we'll keep an eye on, but just a heads up for something that we'll be watching down the road. All right, here is my latest forecast. You can get this anytime you want. Go to southernindianaweather.com and just click on forecast there. 90 for your high temperature today is what I'm forecasting across the area today. In fact, if we take a look at your plan your day forecast, it looks like this: 90 in the Jasper area, Tell City, Corden, Vincennes area, 91 Evansville, 89 Bedford, Madison, and 88 up in the Columbus area. Again, an isolated thunderstorm chance is possible. Now tonight, that will continue to be in the forecast, but even more isolated, really, down to 71 for your low, 73 in the Evansville area, 72 Corden and Jasper, 70 up here in the Bedford and Madison area, 68 up there in Columbus, 72 in Vincennes. So you can see another muggy night no matter how you cut it across the area. And then really Friday looks like a fairly muggy day too. Saturday still fairly muggy, but by the time Sunday comes, it looks like again, and I think the low temperatures, the low high temperatures that we've got on here of the low 80s, folks, that's due to all the rain that we've got around. If we don't have as much rain, then you can expect those temperatures to rise. I wouldn't be surprised if we get an all-day soaking rain not to even make it out of the 70s on Sundays, but I've went conservative and went with just 82 at this point. Fine-tune those details as we get a little bit closer, but you can see once we get out of the 90s, it looks like we stay in the low to mid 80s, and you know what, 84 is normal this time of the year, so it'd be nice to get back towards that. All right, folks, that is it for this morning's video update. Thanks for logging on here to our southernindianaweather.com video. Have a great day, stay safe, and we will see you next time.